Have you ever seen somebody from afar, made eye contact, touched, maybe heard them say something that just turned you on a little bit? Get a little excited? Get a little interested? Can't resist them? You're drawn in. You're forced by your own compulsions. Ooh, let's talk about sexual attraction today. So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. The taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning, this podcast may contain mature language and sexual content, and is for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles. Gonna get steamy tonight.
That's a sweet, sweet sound. Steamy, randy, like all horned up.
I have been preparing. Yeah. I actually, well, my wife had a baby about 3 months ago, so I haven't made sweet, sweet lovin' for about 4 months. It's been a long time.
Oh, snap! How do you live?
How do you live? I also...
Seriously, do you service yourself like 4 times a day?
I have not serviced myself for a week, also, in preparation for this episode. Because testosterone apparently spikes after a week of no release. I don't know if you
nowhere to go, nowhere to run to, baby, nowhere to hide. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
what?
The first question I'm going to ask you is: do you feel a difference if it's been a while?
I sure do, and let me. Oh, sound effects. Welcome to Unpanders, but that's how I feel. That's what we're going to do from now on, folks. We're just going to do sound FX.
Oh.
But no, there is a noticeable difference. I'll say after about 10 straight hours without getting off my rocks, I get real angry. I get mad. There's an irrationalness in my head that manifests itself in not being able to think straight.
Being a blockhead.
Yeah, it makes me dumber, which is weird because I think, didn't the Seinfeld thing say the opposite?
No, well, he said after a while he became more educated.
Oh, okay.
He felt like he could do advanced mathematics or something, which
I don't know.
I feel like I do get a bit crass. I don't know. I'm more short-tempered, and then I also notice myself being attracted to a variety of women, more women, and then it's surprising as well.
Women in the commercials.
You know, like the hand models. You're just like, those knuckles are so... Wait a second.
Ooh. If there were subtitles for your life, it would say sharply inhales air. Every time you see a commercial, you just said,
oh yeah.
Baby.
Woo. Look at those hands.
Breathe, baby.
Oh, man.
I'm feeling breathy.
How do you breathe with
right now?
That undershirt on.
That's a natural undershirt.
Thick, woolly undershirt.
They make those in Italy, folks. Fine Italian hairs.
Man. I have been noticing that, though, that I don't know. It's the range of possibilities just kind of weighs on you, and you're just thinking about them. All of a sudden, they pop into your brain, and you're just like, ooh, what? Why?
Huh?
And
I'm thinking of that.
Yeah. I'm approaching middle age, and I can feel that the drive isn't as strong as when I was younger. Obviously, I think the testosterone fades over time.
Dude. Ooh. Sorry, that was my second sounder of the night. I've only got 6 on here, so I got to use them all. Yeah, so that's crazy. So you can already feel it's different.
Yeah, I think I'm moving towards the mental game where you're like, I want someone who's mentally stimulating. They could be physically attractive, but the physical part, I guess you become so adjusted to having a woman around since I'm married that it's the physical part is not as a draw. It's not like when I was 16 when I was just let's just get into it. So I just want to get down to it.
I think part of me is there, but part of me isn't. I'm still the youthful glow I always was, as you can see from my visage. Mm-hmm. It's I was trying to actually share our feed to online, but apparently the Twitter bot doesn't post it. That's good.
Interesting. Well, how do you know you're attracted to somebody? Like, what are your senses? What are you picking up from somebody that makes you attracted to them?
It's usually a look or a way they move or a way they say things, but it's not something you can capture in a picture usually. I'm not a picture guy. Like, if someone showed me a picture of a person, I couldn't be like, dude, she is... I'm super... Like, I can be attracted to a picture, but there's a fluidity of emotion I actually appreciate in...
You have seen those,
women, actually.
I think there's a whole subreddit about women taking, like, hot or not photos, but they, like, do it from, like, downward, which gives them a double chin, and then they raise themselves up, so it's like their chin is elongated. And now, they're thinner because they're just a different angle. So the photos can lie a lot.
From up here, dude, you take all your selfies from up above. Everyone knows that.
That's why I do the podcast just like this the whole time, just my chin.
That's why.
Oh, yeah, look at that chin.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at this chin.
I'm like regal.
The landing strip, baby.
Right up the middle.
What's going on there? But
just so all the men know.
Could be anything. If you play
it on in.
Yeah. My uncle, who's a model, by the way.
He taught you this special trick.
Mm-hmm.
Just click on this link and go to town.
Ride it.
So all of those things are probably indicating what about a mate? Is that you're trying to look for someone that's probably similar to you?
They try and say health and fertility are the big things. Like, that's why big old boobies represents fertility, right?
Yeah.
Big old hips represents able to carry a baby in them.
Or that they're lean and thin because they're exercising. They're able to
they're
physical
good
things.
Health.
Yeah. Carry large loads. Like
for
babies.
The record, I like my women thick, as in THICC. So
I like petite women. I don't know why. I'm more on the nerdy side. But I like strong petite women.
Oh, like super strong, super petite women. Yeah. So like Mighty Mouse?
Like a gymnast, but older.
So not 14. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Ooh,
the FBI will not be stopping by here today.
Yeah. So you're not in the visual aspect of it. So
no, I am, but it's a like
ephemeral. It's short. It's short-lived.
Here, for all my gamer friends out there, it's like when you're playing a game at 30 FPS versus 60 FPS versus 144 FPS. Shout out. There's just a big difference in the fluidity of the game.
So, like, how a person moves. Let's talk about that, since you're talking about motion. So, like, watching someone walk, I think that teaches you a lot about how the person, I guess, their personalities in their way to walk.
Self-confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of their physical traits, a little bit of I can tell if she's into Dexter or not by the way she walks a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Like Star Wars? Is she a Star Warsian type?
Yeah.
300?
You can tell a little bit. Yeah. 300. Tell by the way she walks. Just constantly kicking, saying this is Sparta. That would be a big indicator, wouldn't it? I could go for a girl.
Yeah. I mean, you can really tell that if they're, if they've played sports, if they're athletic, you can tell if they've never played a sport, if they walk kind of like out of sync. You can also tell like mental disabilities too. I'm not saying you're into that, but you can tell whether they have like an asynchroncy. Asynchroncy. They're asynchronous. So if they're like they're not fluid in their movements, there's something off there. There's something that you wouldn't trust.
Right. I know. I 100% agree. That's why I think I find that way more important than a still frame. Mm-hmm. Still frame, a lot could be off. You add time to a still frame, a little bit of motion. I'm doing that sharp inhale of air. Ooh, sucky. You know what? If I find a really attractive girl, like she's doing that thing, and I'm like, ooh, I can't believe it. I got to bite my fist like in old-timey times. Do you know what that referred to?
I do not know.
Neither do I. I have no idea. Look it up. If you are in the comments right now, let us know. why did old people, when they see that hot broad, is that what they called them? Is that, for the record, old-timey term for
old broad
attractive
hips?
Yeah, that's what broad was for, correct? Covered that in a previous episode. Broad is short for one of broad hips, which was like a childbearer, which was like, ooh, look at that broad hips. And it got shortened to, look at that broad. Are you looking up?
I'm trying to figure it out, but
I'm just curious if it had a
bringing
name.
up. It's bringing up like all
I
these
wonder if
diseases.
it's because your hand is the conduit to sin, and you were gonna slap that fine honey on her rump maybe and say good job waitress or whatever they said back in the day. So you're biting your hand to stop it from doing all the evil deeds you would do to her. Oh.
I think it's the only way to express in a movie how you feel in that way. Really?
So it was created for movies?
Yeah, I think so. That's the only thing I see. Other things are diseases. Do you have psoriasis of the knuckles? Is that why you're chewing on your hand?
What's going on there? I sure do. I sure do.
So let's touch on the visual a little bit. So if you have someone's like a face that's straight on their profile.
Symmetrical.
Yeah, or not.
So, asymmetrical.
Yeah, so asymmetrical is called fluctuating asymmetry.
Fluctuating hips, I believe they say in the biz.
Well, that's a different thing. So fluctuating asymmetry is when a person's face doesn't match up exactly. And good genes should make you so that your face lines up somewhat accurately. My face is kind of tilted most of the time, and I squint with my left eye, so I'm screwing it. Yeah, let's put a mirror right in the middle. Nick's face, he looks like a...
I'm trying to do like a Joker thing, but I think I'm really... One of my eyes is definitely off.
Yeah, it's definitely not quite right.
No.
You're okay, though. I think you're in the range of normal. Barely. So that's one of the things, if you're looking at a mate, visually you're deciding whether their genes are accurate enough to make a symmetrical body, or if they were malnourished or something during the phase that made them so they don't do the normal facial.
Right?
Yeah,
disease.
That's like if a person smiles and they have some sort of disease that causes them to not smile quite right, you're going to pick up on that and say probably not.
That's going to be a no for me. Yeah. He must be British.
Oh, look at those teeth.
Says the guy who has not very great teeth. But, whatever. I'm working on it, folks.
You could be a hit in Britain. You could be a hit in Britain.
I could be a hit there. Still viable.
He has relatively good teeth. Look at those.
This chap over here. I'm telling you, I'm trying to post our thing. I'm real disappointed.
Keep trying. It's difficult to podcast and post at the same time.
It sure is. I'm trying to do it unbeknownst to the viewer. I'll copy the damn tweet. Oh, live. There we go. Let's get this link. Share it. This is good radio. This is a good podcast. Share to copy link. Got it.
So the other thing I'm going to touch on is voice. So like a person's voice, usually a female's voice. I
don't usually get turned on or feel There are voices that can turn you off.
Husky.
No, they can turn you off.
That's true. Well, there's the fran dressers that cackle or they laugh at the stupidest things or you can't stand. Yeah, there's some that are very obvious, but fran drescher is probably not when she was recorded, probably not in the range of where you would be mating, age-wise.
Okay. I was like, the vocal range? Does she not make those noises in bed? Do you think she really makes those noises during her sexual encounters? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
You think? It's got to come out naturally, right?
It would shrivel up like a hermit crab going back into its shell.
What if someone's into that? I don't know. Aren't people into screamers and stuff?
I don't know. I had one woman that was into baby voices, and that was just, what the heck is wrong with you? She literally, awesome. Yeah, she was talking about things that were in the room as we're getting busy, and I was just like, I can't deal with this. This is not normal.
Can you give me one example? Because I'm flabbergasted. Look at that painting, little baby.
She looked out the window, and there were guys playing basketball, and she said, "Ooh, basketball!" As I was getting down to it, and I was like, "What? What are you?"
That's a bit odd.
Yeah, so I couldn't date her anymore. That was the end of our relationship right there. I was like, I'll finish, but it's okay. We're going to be done. We're going to be done here.
I guess so. Wow.
But pitch of voice is actually, for a female trait, it lines up with their ovulation cycle. So their pitch changes when they're most fertile. And then when it's towards the end of the cycle, when they're leaving fertility, it becomes a little bit deeper. A little bit.
Are you legit?
I did read this on a website, which was probably 100% legit. I'm going to say it right now.
All right, fair. I'll take it. I mean, I wasn't going to argue with you. I was just, that seems very odd.
But there's a resonance to a person's voice that you can tell how large they are also. So like older women will be technically larger. So there's something called a formant, which is like the resonance between their like vocal cords. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it'll be a louder and more resonant voice, which will make it seem like it's, I guess, more manly, which is less attractive to a male. But it's the reverse.
Not all males.
That's true. Some males like that.
Well, did you know, this might come up later in arousal, but did you know men, even let's say gay men, like if you're a man attracted to a man, your arousal works the same way as a man attracted to a female. Female arousal works entirely different. So it has nothing to do with the opposite sex. It has to do with your own sex.
Has to do with your own like disgusts? Is that where you're leaning towards?
No. Your own physical nature, your physiology.
I don't know. You have to explain that a little more.
I guess it's self-explanatory. I guess I didn't need to explain it that way, but like it's not who you're attracted to that's important in your sexual arousal, your sexual whatever. It's who you are. So like a male, because you produce testosterone, because you have a... Are we going to say
a wiener. You can say penis.
I don't know if... Is penis allowed?
Penis.
Dick.
Penis.
Dick.
It feels good to say it out loud.
I did say good.
You're not allowed to say that.
Oh boy.
In public.
Anyway. I forget where I was going. Just that
you got distracted by penis.
I did. Your sexual arousal and your sexual states are usually based on your physical like hormones and stuff.
Yeah, so you're talking about we can jump into that. We're talking about androgens. Right?
A little bit, sure. Yeah.
So like the male version is like testosterone, the female version is estrogen, and there's a whole bunch of other ones. There's like DHEA, A4, A5, DHT, and androsterone.
There's a whole shit ton.
Yeah.
If we were to use a scientific term. Right?
Progesterone, oxytocin, and vasopressin. Those
I missed one, I think.
Most of those have to do with the female cycle of being fertile, having an egg in their womb area, and then...
What's weird is I think they come into play in other places too. It's just they're important to the female cycle.
Yeah.
Like, so they're men have these hormones, but they're in such small number, right? But it's just, I find that crazy that we all have the same ones. It's just like, hey, you got more of this. I got more of this. And it makes us act differently.
So there was something about sexual phases. I don't want to see the graph.
Yeah, I always call it the eep-eep.
Yeah, the human sexual human sexual response cycle.
Yeah, eep-eep. That's how everyone remembers it. Like sometimes if the old lady's feeling real frisky, I go like, "Hey, let's go do the eep-eep." She goes, "Whoa." You don't know what that is?
No, I have no idea what that is.
It's so easy. It's excitement, plateau, orgasm, resolution.
The eep-eep.
That's how I remember it. The eep-eep. E-P-O-R.
Oh, nice.
Eep-eep.
The excitement
a little
phase.
Excitement, a little bit of plateau, you know what I'm saying? Like a little bit of a mountain, but it stops and goes straight for a while. A little bit of an orgasm, and then we resolute.
So what I like the best about this is like when we break it down into something we talk about, it's usually science related or mathematical almost. And the male phase is very obvious. So the man is almost always horny. He can almost always ejaculate. Oh, I said it. And then ejaculate.
You did it.
Except for a period after he's ejaculated. So that doesn't really count. I think he can.
Do you want to get into that?
The refractory period?
Yeah, refractory period.
We can dive right in. I have a graph I'm going to pull up in a second here.
Go for it. Do you know it can range between mere minutes to days in people?
Oh, yeah?
And they have the average for a couple ages. So 18-year-old. So hold on. For the record, before anyone might be listening and might not know. After a male orgasms, he ejaculates. There's what's called a refractory period where he doesn't want to be touched. He's oversensitive in his glands area.
Yep.
And he's like, I need a few minutes before I can even get it going again.
Just give me a minute.
I need an hour. I need 2 hours. I need 10 days, whatever it is.
For me, it's
this
5
is called
minutes.
the refractory period. That's what I was going to ask you. That's
Doesn't take long.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know the average 18-year-old is under 20 minutes? The average 70-year-old is over 20 hours to get
20 hours?
Yes.
So
you only get one a day.
That's weird.
Right? I've never even thought of that. That's terrifying to me.
The one thing I did read about being elderly is that they can still get it on. It just takes more time to get it up, and there's less lubrication.
Ooh.
And then I stopped reading.
Doom 2016 is coming out. Rip and tear.
Oh, so the male cycle is pretty straightforward. It's like either you haven't and you can, or you just have and you maybe can't for a little while. The female cycle has several lines that say you're almost there, you're almost there, you're almost there, and then you're done, or you're there and there you go, and then okay, you get multiple.
You want to
keep going,
You're
and
right.
then there's a third line that goes up and down rapidly. It's like oh, which I think you've met personally. You've met that line. You've crossed it.
Yeah, been there.
Yeah.
You're over.
Well, that's the sound effect.
An ad. No, I was trying to play sound effect and there's an ad before it. And I was like, what?
How do you, that's an app fail right there.
I was going to be like, oh. Yummy. Huh, good one. That was it. That took so long. Or the refractory period in most men, though, in the United States, this is a true fact, is around half an hour. So you need, that was a deflating balloon. Didn't sound like it. Okay.
Your sound effects are terrible.
It was from a free app called Over 200 Sounds. So,
200 sounds. That's
anyway, I'm going to play the other two I didn't get to play yet.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect. That's
mating call.
When we're attracted to a female, we say that, especially if we're on the job and we're wearing our hard hat and we're eating our lunch out of a metal lunchbox.
I'm just jacking it to a jackhammer, you know?
We just have to make that sound to a female to show that we are attracted to her.
I'm just going to split some concrete right now.
Hell yeah, my man. And there's one other one. Just say something about your job real quick.
My job? What about
it? You like that? It's called the yawn sound effect. It was a diss.
Someone likes the tea.
Yes.
The daddy tea? That's another thing.
Are you sure this isn't the daddy tea?
I don't know that you're wearing a tee. I don't think you are. Unless you're talking about your undershirt.
It could be. What's under there?
A lot of fuzz. So
all right.
We get on to the next. Let me see. We had body image. We had like visuals. We had hearing. So smells. You can get to smells.
Oh,
you don't look that interested in smells.
No. I can do smells. I mean, smells are like. Your body gives off pheromones. Like, I don't even know what pheromones are. I couldn't tell you what pheromones smell like.
So pheromones are always secreted. Like, it's not, most people think like it's maybe like with your BO or something, but they're always there. They're just coming out in your skin and your hair. Issey
Miyagi came out with something that has literally over 40 pheromones. It's naturally attractive to the female. They smell it. It goes right into the olfactory bulb. We got them right in here, folks. Females got them. It's an aphrodisiac. Automatically drives them a little wild. Little something called tenting happens. I don't want to get too graphic, but let's just say the vagina is like this, goes like this. Natural procedure involved in arousal.
Wow. Whew. So
I'm actually getting aroused smelling myself right now.
That's actually the thing with colognes and pheromones is that you're with using colognes, you're actually turning yourself on, which makes you more attractable to other mates because you're now very active and engaged. So the whole reason to use a cologne is for yourself because most people can't smell it until they're really close to you. Oh yes, yeah, become more attractive. Oh, you can smell. Yeah, he's starting to get more engaged.
I am more engaged in
He's
this whole conversation.
Starting to ornament.
To ornament? I never heard that phrase. That's pretty good.
We'll come back to that one.
We sure will. Did you know that I read 10 really weird things that turn everyone horny or something?
Are you still on pheromones? I have one more tidbit.
Go ahead.
So like pheromones are secreted all the time. Most of them are negative. So if you get within 18 inches of somebody, you can tell whether you like them or not.
Space. Yeah, I like that bubble.
And they all have to do with kind of like the female cycle. The man kind of already emits them, but they are linked to different types of like testosterone and other androgens. So a female can pick up on this and be attracted to it, but most likely the pheromones are not for positive reasons. They're for negative reasons. So they're like, will force a woman away, most likely. So if you're trying to use pheromones to attract a woman, you have to be really close to her. And also they have to be the right pheromones to not drive her away.
Well, check this. I heard that because generally women are shorter than men, that women release a lot of pheromones from the top of their head. That's why we like the way women's hair smells.
Really? I like that stat, actually. I don't know if it's true.
Where's head height? The average woman, probably on the average man, right?
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh, well.
So
I got him.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You did get me.
So where did the men come out of? Like your nipple height? Like that's right where the nose would be? Armpits?
Armpits? Yeah,
I don't know about that one.
I made that up. You just asked. I don't know. I made it up.
Huh.
Interesting, right?
Uh-huh. We're getting closer here. We're within 18 inches of somebody. We're really attracted to somebody.
You can also smell like they're like sex. I know everyone makes a fish joke or whatever, and vagina has a smell, but it's like...
I don't know that I've ever picked out someone's sex. I mean, there have been tests to prove that...
No. I'm talking about during sexual whatever.
So,
play, intercourse, foreplay, something, whatever.
I don't know how you describe that with words.
Well,
go ahead, Nick.
Here,
You've got this one.
I'll explain it this way.
You brought it up.
If I smelled that while I was shopping for donuts in Dunkin' Donuts and I was in line, I would do this. And I'll have a crawler and I'm not sure if I want any more donuts. It's just not donut day. We're going to do a rain check. I'll take the coffee. You know what? I'll pay for the coffee. I don't need the coffee. We're good. Have a great day. And then I'll leave. Ding, ding. The bell will go off showing I left. When you smell that same smell, when you're like heavy petting, you're making out, you're doing all sorts of crazy stuff with someone, like it almost drives you on further. You're like, hell yeah, I'm going to go for the source. Like I'm a bee on the loose. I'm going to find that honey. I'm going to dip my fruit in that forbidden. I'm trying to use different words because I don't want to get banned entirely from YouTube. But I'm going to get there. I'm going to find that sweet, sweet gold.
Nectar. Yep.
Yeah. But it's the same smell. It's just your state of mind changes, and I think it changes everything.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's an animalistic kind of drive that it takes over you. I think it's always there, right. But when you're in the heat of things, both of you are feeling your animalistic vibes and you're going for it. And there's very little that you can do wrong, in my opinion.
Right. Do you know why that is? I mean, it's actually a real easy reason. You actually do know it. It's just I didn't think of it till I was researching today. I
actually didn't come across this.
You already know it. It's like a joke. It's because all your blood has rushed to androgynous zones, like your dick. Excuse my language.
Your androgynous zones?
Whatever, dude. Your erogenous. Your erogenous
zone. Yeah, because androgynous. Yeah.
Well, that's why it's androgynous. It's your erogenous zone, but made to be like an android, like all plain, without nipples and tits and
So what are your erogenous zones?
I actually know the females is the old vulva right here.
Uh-huh.
No, the vulva.
Okay, he's pointing in the wrong area.
Well, and then most guys don't actually know this, but then there's the clit. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep. That's right where it is. Right around your throat area.
Most men can't find it.
Yeah.
Friggin'
Jesus. Yeah. I mean, you know about Graftonberg, right?
Oh, the G.
The old Graftonberg spot. Found by a man.
Found by a man.
In the 1960s. It took us that long.
G-spot on the side of a... Anyway, erogenous zones are all the hot spots. The ones we got to cover on TV when we're flashing them out in public, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Right? I guess so. Is your ear an erogenous zone?
So the one I'm looking at, which I don't like looking at too much, most of the erogenous zones are around mucocutaneous spots, which are like the...
Hold on.
Mucocutaneous? So erogenous zones... Mucocutaneous.
But I'm going to guess it's to do with mucous membrane, so your mouth, your eyes and stuff? What?
Sort of. It's like has to do with like your inside of your body coming out. So there's a network of fibers that are interacting at these zones where your body is like breathing out, exhaling,
your butthole.
Secreting,
just say
butthole. Yes.
Wait, how many minutes into the episode are we? I've been waiting to say butthole all episodes. But anyway.
So their explanation is that you have like two networks that are intertwined there, so it makes it super sensitive, and for a good reason, because your body's trying to protect itself. But it also is trying to draw you into like sex. It's also trying to make it so you're super sensitive around your, and I'm going to list these ones: lips, tongue, neck for some reason. They have whatever. Breast, nipples.
Your neck
protects your esophagus or something. And then the clitoris, the vagina, G-spot, anus, scrotum, penis, prostate.
Where's my soundboard?
Inner thigh. I danced right over it.
Myself.
Got a little shy there. Got a little nervous. A little scared.
What's really crazy is, would you say do you think it's natural or a product of the society we live in, clothes, everything, but when you're naked, you want to protect those areas kind of?
Well, when I have been naked in public, I have covered those areas.
But I mean, that's literally because you were going to...
Yeah.
Yeah, you were going to
aware.
Go against the law. The long arm of the law was going to reach over, grab your dilly and just start shaking, my friend.
Dilly. If you're running through a forest naked, you're probably going to cover your private parts. I'm just going to say that.
I just thought of the coolest, weirdest fantasy ever. So you're running naked and you're terrified, you're afraid, right? And it's you're outside of your college, right? Oh my God, I'm streaking, I can't believe it. And a cop sees you and he's like, whoa, and he grabs your ding dong. But his arm goes really long, it's like 20 feet long. He's grabbing it from like across the parking lot, and he's like, looks like you're getting excited in public. And you're like, no, officer, I gotta go back to the dorm. He's like, it's an extra bad penalty of law if you get off in public. And he starts just whacking. I just thought that would be I don't know.
Holy shit.
Is that the weirdest thing you've ever thought? Oh, I can't believe that's funny as hell.
I can't believe you just said that.
Well, I tried to keep it PG. I think I thought it up once. It was the long arm of the law reaching across to get you. And you were like, no, I don't want to. And he's like, ejaculating in public an extra young man.
I have a theory that, like, to prevent heart disease, you have, like, blockages in your arteries. And when you laugh that hard, all those blockages kind of just break apart. And then you just, you just added a year to my life.
Your life.
Yeah.
You owe me. You owe that officer.
What the hell were we talking about?
I forget, but just those zones. Ironically enough, you said like the neck and like the lips and the tongue. Like, do you feel like you should protect them anyway? Like more so than your cheek, more so than your right bicep. Like there's something naturally
sensitive about it. That's the inner network of nerves. Like those zones are areas that are like in and outside the body. So your nerves are kind of like thicker there.
Zones, right?
They are kind of, and I think the areas that are erogenous that are not mucocutaneous, like your neck,
I'm just
probably
mirroring
like
you. I'm making you like me more.
You're like the back of your leg, or like the parts that are ticklish on you. Maybe even feet, like people who like toes, like those. That's like a little weird fetish, but I'm
not into it. It's not my thing.
Yeah,
I think we've discussed some fetishes on here, but
Yeah, but they're the most sensitive. Like if you want to have someone react to what you're doing, you're trying to focus on areas that are the most sensitive.
I'm not going back there.
Don't go back.
Officer Long Arms is by himself back there, all right? If I told you which sex can get more aroused the quickest, fully aroused. There's actually a state called fully aroused.
There is? Really? Men.
Yeah.
No way.
You would think, right?
It's
Did
not.
you know it's equal for both? And how long do you think it is? Fully aroused is like where all the blood is in one area. In females, it's a little different.
I'm going to say 50 seconds.
I'm going to do the... No, it's way longer. 10 minutes.
What? It takes that long?
Now, this is not...
Is that an average?
Fully aroused is different than aroused, Dan. This isn't what you see when you see a Tide commercial is not fully aroused. That's just called like, whoa. Fully aroused is where you're like breathing heavy. I'll give you. You're breathing heavy, full erection. Your pupils are dilated. Your blood pressure has actually changed. And are you all right, dude? Like you're losing. Or if you were a female.
Oh, shit.
I know. I'm still thinking about that too. If you were a female, I'd say you were engorged in all your sex zones. We discussed some of them. Your nipples, your areolas actually get bigger when you're aroused.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yeah, things get larger, filled with blood.
Yeah, they do. Blood pressure, your pupils dilate, your breathing changes. You do tenting in the old vagina. That's one of my favorite things is when a vagina just sets up tent right there. Moisture actually is a big part of it. Moisture seeps in from the walls. But anyway, by the time you're like fully aroused in all these situations, you're like 10 minutes on average for both a man and a woman. Now,
so it takes 10 minutes. So like foreplay is a real thing then. So getting 10 minutes of foreplay in is actually key to enjoying it.
You're legally off the...
Wait, we got another 30, 20, 10. Oh, okay, let's go.
Now, check this. There's also something really strange about when we talk about sex. Arousal is different than stimulation.
Okay, keep going.
So arousal is physiological, meaning like something that's inside your brain that
mental.
Possibly... Yeah. Right, and it's mental, and it's sort of physical, but what's only physical is you're stimulating. So like if you're rubbing your penis on something, like a cop's sleeve or arm or something, that's a stimulant. It's not an arousal thing.
Okay, so you're stimulating the nerves that are
there you go.
Potentially
stimulant is a physical action that's happening to your body. It's nothing mental. It's not physiological. That's why arousal is the weird one. That's why we did this whole episode on arousal, because arousal is crazy. Stimulation's pretty easy. It's like rub it a bunch, it's gonna get crazy. Right?
Yeah, like the G-spot.
There you go.
The grafton spot.
What did you want to give us about the G-spot? You keep bringing it up.
Yeah. The grafton spot was it's like the first scientist to actually be as a gynecologist, Ernest Grafenberg. He decided to determine how females get aroused, and if there was such a place as the G-spot that causes them to be more aroused or more focused.
Ooh.
So it was actually like...
You've heard pray tell.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like if you were on the backside of the urinary tract. That's what he described as. If you were to like rub that palate, that's where the G-spot is supposedly... That's where it supposedly is. But it's not proven. I don't know. Do you have a specific?
I'm just going off memory here, but I think it's like the other end of where the clitoris is attached.
No, they say it's like a palate or plate on the backside of the urinary tract, so you can rub that.
I think it's
like what? No, how? Where exactly? How do you find this? And then like men are discussing.
No, but I think it's like that's made of the same material, cells, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, he proposed that it was in that area and that he could stimulate it and then like measure the response. But other people went back and tried to duplicate its results, and they said that like it may exist for some women, may not exist for others. So it's really not a scientific fact.
That would make actually more sense though if it was clitoris related, because they come in all different shapes and sizes.
The G-spot is not the clitoris. I will say that. That's not what Ernest said.
But I'm saying it might be made of the same cells.
It might be, the sensitivity of the clitoris
Sure.
and the G-spot might be related, and it may or may not be present on some women. It might be focused in other areas for some women. It's biology's a weird thing. Some people don't have it. Some people do. Some people love it. Some people, they wait for the long arm of the
They
law.
wait for the long arm of the law. It's coming for all of us, and we're coming for it.
Yeah.
Is blue balls real? Go.
Blue balls. You want to talk about blue balls?
Sorry, Don. That's temporary fluid congestion in the vas congestion area.
Oh,
Sorry.
is it really? I didn't scientifically research this. So, like, I've always been told that if you jump up and down, that you will relieve yourself of blue balls.
That's weird because one of the research points I came up with was if you lift heavy weights, you can relieve it.
Huh?
It's a buildup of fluid before it gets to the spot where it goes and goes crazy and goes out.
Huh.
So, like, you're building up all that liquid, but naturally it will dissipate, but it is built up. It's not fake.
But it's not. Usually, blue balls doesn't happen. I mean, you're like semi-aroused, but you're not trying to spurt fluid. So, like, what is?
No, it can be if you're like super aroused for like hours and then you never get off, and
it's just a buildup. It just gets stuck there, and then you just need to kind of like break it free to
more and more. Exactly.
It's interesting.
The best way to cure blue balls is actually still to what's the legal term? Ejaculate. Still the best way.
What was that? What was the P? I mean, I remember the acronym. It was like PGAD or something.
For what? The female over orgasm stimulation thing?
Persistent genital arousal disorder.
Yeah.
So,
do you know that only happens in females, really?
Is it really?
Yeah. See, you didn't click on the next link. I did a little.
You went a little deeper. That's the next little inch deeper. So
there's two types of sexual desire disorders. Like, you know, if your old lady doesn't want to do it every 5 hours, something's wrong with her. Okay. It's called hypoactive sexual disorder or lack of arousal.
Yep.
Right. Makes sense. Hypo. Then there's hyperactive sexual disorder, an abnormally high desire to always just finish it.
It's getting done.
One of the things they found is that in like less than 1% of the population, there's something called persistent genital arousal disorder. It's almost always with women because apparently they become engorged with blood, and unlike the male counterparts, they can't release the same way.
Yeah.
Like when a male releases, it's all
one and done. Refractory period.
It's all over the couch cushions. It's all over the back seat of the 72 Chevelle. It's all over, like, you know, it's all over whatever.
It's between the keys of your keyboard. That's the worst.
God damn. Yeah. No amount of compressed air is going to fix that problem, folks. They should make a product for that. But yeah, it happens with females. And what did they say? One of the cures was to
repeated
get
orgasms.
Off, like,
multiple orgasms over the course of like an entire day.
It'll go away.
Just keep orgasming, which women can do.
It's my motto.
It's a trait that only women have, which is very bizarre. Refractory period. So let's go back to taste. So like attraction in kisses, the first kissed the first time.
This is going to be real talk. I'm going to break it down for everyone.
Oh.
Everyone I've ever made out with, I didn't particularly like the way they tasted.
Yeah. Usually mouth does not taste very, very good, even in modern day society, which is weird.
You can learn to love it. You can actually appreciate it. You can grow familiar with it, like all those things. But it's like a fart. You know, is anyone else like, it's a great fart? But if it's your own fart, you're like, that's my fart. You kind of give it a little smirk. You're like, that's my fart. Like,
they like smoke cigarettes or something? Or they just have bad breath?
I haven't brushed your teeth in a while.
Yeah. Not good.
I hate to corner you. If a girl swallowed your ejaculate and tried to kiss you immediately after, what would you do?
Depends when, like what phase we're in of making love.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think all men
have this weird... By the way, if our parents are watching, this is the one you shouldn't watch.
Yeah. You can stop watching now, Mom and Dad.
This is the one, let's watch another episode. Everyone else, you're good.
Yeah, if you're in the heat of passion and anything goes, just go with it.
No, I'm not.
Afterwards, no one's going to question. It's going to be fine. And they're not going to be like, remember that time that you did that thing? And be like, no.
No, actually, my blood that usually goes to my brain
was all down there.
Mm-hmm.
I blanked out and woke up in a stupor.
Huh. Kind of how sex is a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Weird. Do you know what penile plethysmography is?
Mammography sounds like something graft. I don't know what.
Yeah, it is. It kind of is. Listen, it's how they measured how attracted you were to someone back in the day.
Huh.
It's a tongue twister for the day. Rubber ring for your rod. That's not much of a total.
Is that the thickness, like the girth, or is that what you're talking about?
I think, yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, it was old school. It had a mercury thermometer type thing at the end of it that would measure
how hot your rod got.
Yeah. No. How much changed? It was a pressure change.
Huh.
Probably did a pulley system or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I can see the scientist just has a really elaborate penis system. And he's just like, hold on a second, I've got to calibrate the instruments. It's like, it's describing a man's just like, boop, boop, boop.
All right, now, Barbara, I want you to fillet him once again while I'm writing this down.
Fillet, second, third, fourth times.
But anyway, that's like an old school, old-timey, outdated way to measure penis growth, which measured attraction doesn't actually work.
That's
do you know what they use now for actually works with females, measuring their superficial blood flow, and it's pretty accurate in determining their attraction.
Ultrasound?
It's like really close. Laser Doppler imaging. That's right.
That sounds
when
hot.
They're checking the weather in one sense, they're checking the vajay on the other, and they're telling you how engorged that vajay is.
Hold on. Can I laser Doppler image you? I just want to make sure you're really into.
We're the only news station that does laser Doppler on your female. So I thought that was crazy, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. Damn. I'm just going to follow it up with my third fact, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Okay. I would like to bring up Masters and Johnson. Have you heard of them?
Mm-mm.
They did come up in they were sex researchers back in the 1960s-ish, and their whole thing was that where they were going to measure the response of people having sex in a lab environment. So they brought in people that were, I'm going to say, acclimated to sex, which meant they're probably prostitutes. And they measured their response to different sexual mates to figure out the aspects of sexual engagement. Mm-hmm. It was actually a show on, I'm going to say like Showtime or HBO. I think it was Masters of Sex, which has a very attractive female actress. But
weird.
Yeah. The key facts there are that I don't know. I don't even know how to say it. Is that like they were just kind of figuring out like how people get stimulated and how interested they are and who takes the right role. And the scientists involved were a man and a female. Masters was the man. Johnson was the female. William H. Masters, Virginia Johnson. And they did the experiments with themselves as well. So they got into it while they were watching other people get into it. Masters actually divorced his wife and then married Johnson.
There's a button for clap. I didn't save it in my favorites. I'm doing this. Pretend it's a phone. Clap. Slow clap.
So apparently watching other people get down to it is a big turn on. And then I don't know if they actually like scanned anything or figured anything out about it, but you did bring up the different stages, which were the excitement, plateau, orgasm, and resolution phase.
Eep-pour. I'm about to eep-pour so hard.
Yeah. So they're the ones that generated that.
This hair don't make itself, folks. That's eep-pour hair.
They also talked about the sensitivity of different areas if you're having sex, whether it's going to be vaginal or clitoral, if you're working the outer areas or the inner areas, how long it takes, who's going to do what. And they messed with
15 minutes here, boom.
Yeah, just 3 or 2 minutes, depending on who you are. They messed with like the sexes too, so they had like male female, male male, female female, and they kind of like tried to figure out if there are sexual roles that happen. think they found that the females would kind of like, I don't say pussyfoot around. They try to like figure out like who's best at it, and the males would kind of assume a certain role immediately. So there's like an alpha male process to it that is kind of ingrained in us, I guess. Is if you have more testosterone, you're going to bully people around, or if you don't, you're going to kind of feel it out.
Interesting, because related to that and what we said earlier was that I didn't write the name down.
Kinsey? You going to go to Kinsey?
No, who's Kinsey? I did come across a Kinsey, though.
Yeah, Kinsey, the Kinsey reports, they did them a little bit earlier in 1940-something, 48. Mm-hmm. He was trying to cover the same sort of things, taboo items, and it wasn't as dramatic, it wasn't as involved as those masters of sex, but he was kind of kicking off the discussion between, like what's sexual, is it okay to have sex, is it enjoyable, what happens, and then also kicking it off to like someone like a Margaret Sanger, who was the like proponent of birth control.
Good eye, Marge.
It's crazy because it's only 50-ish years ago that
it was like a whole different world.
Yeah, where people were really against having sex without complications.
Condoms.
Yeah. So
you can't have sex with a ring of rubber around your ding dong.
That's against your religious morals and against the sanctity of nature, I would say. Wow, you pulled up what is that? Trojan,
baby. This is the only brand I actually believe in.
You didn't get a Magnum? That looks like a. That's the one that didn't fit right. Yeah.
I hope it didn't expire. Nope. I got some time, folks.
Yeah.
Might use this one the weekend. Did you ever use one by yourself?
When I was like 13, I bought one
That's awesome.
It was actually like a wedding hall bathroom. Had very creative icons, and I bought one for like 25 cents, and I was like, this one has a deck of playing cards on it, Daddy. And then he was like, those aren't what you think they are.
Those are not playing cards. You might want to hand that to me.
True story.
Did he throw it out, or did he put it in his pocket?
He took them and then put it in his nightstand, which I found years later, and was like, wait a second, this makes more sense to me now that I'm 16. Open it up, condom inside. I was like, let's give this thing a go. Sorry, Dad. Yep. I don't know. You're thinking about it. You want to respond to that? I know you do.
There's a lot of responses, I guess, available. Yeah. One, have you ever had to buy condoms, like as a 14-year-old or anything like that?
As a 17-year-old, I think. Okay. It's a weird stigma.
Worse as a 14-year-old.
Yeah, because you did it when you were 14.
Where I was. Yeah. Wait, you want to hear a worse one? I bought a pregnancy test as a 13-year-old at a local. It wasn't even CVS. I forget what it was called. Rite Aid Pharmacy or something.
A&E.
I just remember being like in line and like, boop, and like that's all I was buying. Like I should have bought gum or something to throw it off.
Freeze, the pause. You're just like, who? Describe the cashier. They're usually older women who are probably in their like 30s or 40s. It was an
older woman, but I don't remember much more than that. I just remember it was like the most awkward situation because it was like
they know exactly what it's for.
Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, this kid can't be over 10. Because when you're older, too, you also think everyone's younger.
Also,
they're probably like, okay.
All right. The weird thing is that they lock them up in certain stores. So, like, you have to ask somebody to unlock the condoms. It's like, why are you trying to prevent people from preventing unwanted babies? I don't understand it. Like, you're putting a stigma on it when it already has a stigma. Like, buying them alone is just difficult.
Condom size trier thing.
Oh yeah, I did. I've seen that one.
It's awesome. It's just like a palette, like a painter's palette. It has like all these holes in it, and they get smaller as you go. It's like which size condom's right for you? It's like I can imagine how many people were just railing one in a store. Not gonna fit, it's not gonna fit. We need the bigger size.
Ooh.
Do you know why you act all chill and be like, oh, afterwards?
So I guess there's a release of what? Endorphins? That you're just
Neurohormones. Has to do with your brain. Oxytocin and prolactin, baby. Ooh. The amount of which actually you did. The amount of which actually affects your refractory period if you're a man.
Huh. So it's meant to appease you from the transition from a sexual peak to and make you
Body needs time to rest. Let's not go through like, hey, imagine if you just kept getting hornier and hornier until like 10 in a row, and now you're banging and banging and like you're breathing weird, you're sweating, you're grunting, you're an animal, you're a monster. Your children walk in and see you, and you're just like screaming at the kids, and
that kind of defeats the purpose of sexual reproduction. If you would just keep going, right?
Keep going, I know, right?
I feel like one guy would impregnate the earth, like Genghis Khan. One
day we might see such a thing, especially if they reenact Prima Nocte. I heard they were thinking about it. Prima Nocte.
Is that Trump's version?
Yeah, Trump's version. Yeah, I guess. Do animals actually enjoy sex? Did you come across this?
I don't see how they don't. Have you ever seen monkeys go at it? They like hoot and holler, and they're just.
So baboons and dolphins and elephants and a couple others are animals that have sex for fun.
Dolphins will do anything. I've heard that they'll stick it in. They'll just mess with things to have sex with them.
Did we do that on the podcast?
I don't know.
It was me. It was me who told you.
Was it really?
Yeah, the house they filled up with water, and the woman who lived with the dolphin, eventually she was giving it like blowjobs and stuff. Okay, this is a secret CIA mission where they thought they could train dolphins to communicate with humans on like an intimate level. And they had a woman who lived in this house and had to feed them and would try and, see what they're up to. Well, these dolphins reached sexual age, and she started jerking off a dolphin or something. Oh At one point, they found out she was trying to sleep with the dolphin, but I don't know if they could figure out physically how to do it. Look this up. It was like a 1960s CIA or FBI thing.
Huh.
It was like a failed experiment going bad.
Yeah. Well, one step leads to another. And because they're as smart as we are.
Do you think it's like the basis of that movie that won the Oscar or whatever? The lady has sex with the fish man? No, the fish man movie.
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Okay.
She falls in love with the fish man.
Yeah. He represents the dolphin. I didn't say it. So
I forget what the name of it is. I do have another term for you though, which you should know. Cuckold.
The old cuckold.
Yeah. Do you know what the definition of a cuck is?
No, I actually don't.
It's the husband of an adulterous wife. It's someone who puts up with.
So it's literally that's what a cuckold is, isn't it?
I'm not sure that's the definition, but hold on a second. Let me plug up a picture. There's a picture that's ridiculous.
It's like you want people to have sex with your girl, right?
I don't know that that's intentional in this definition. It seems like you put up with your wife being
Oh, she's an adulteress, swinging son of a gun.
She's doing what you want, and you can't control her. Which I can't blame the woman in that. If you're
not getting hot, I think I have athlete's foot, but sorry,
stop doing that. I'm trying to bring up a picture here.
Anyway, cuckolding, folks, not my thing.
So there's a picture that doesn't make any sense to me. So there's like a queen-like woman. I brought it up. And there's a whole bunch of people with deer antlers all around her in a party. It looks like almost like maybe a French.
Like that type party?
No. This is back in like maybe the 1800s. And they're all kind of like in like nice finery. They're wearing like dresses and I guess military outfits. And there's like two guys at their feet with horns as well. I guess one of them is the husband, and there's a baby scrolling out something on a tablet in the front. So I guess it's a demon baby because it has red wings. So it's like I guess you get stuck with a woman who has someone else's baby, and you buy it as your own, and then you're a cuck.
She banged.
Yeah, she banged, probably. And you got suckered into 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's a cuck, which we talked about in a previous episode, but we didn't really define.
Sorry, that's a correction.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome to the correction section.
Yeah.
Do you know about aphrodisiacs?
Like oysters.
Clams, chocolate and oysters. And how about the pills you can buy from 7-Eleven?
Do they really work?
I'll let you know in a second. Tune in after this break. Anyway, folks, we got this little bad boy. You rub this on your Graftonberg spot, ladies, and you will be in a world of pleasure. They call this the OG spot, as in orange spot. A little pressure, a little bit of, and boom, you're on your way to Happy Town. Crazy Happy Town. You don't have to tell your man. You don't have to tell your girlfriend. You don't have to tell your friends. You don't have to tell your parents. You don't have to tell your kids. Buy it today. Check out in our mentions down here, the Unpanders, what we got at the bottom. We'll include a link. All proceeds go to either charity or us. It doesn't matter. Check it out, and you'll be screaming like an OG. That was my phone.
Does it make it click? Can you push it?
No, I hit something as it fell.
Okay.
There, fixed it. Sorry. Where were we?
The other thing I wanted to talk about is the cycle for women.
Mm-hmm.
So as men, we're always ready to go. And I feel like we're the aggressors whenever it comes to like making interactions and trying to have sex and be romantic and all those things that are tied into being aroused and intimate.
Mm-hmm.
The female cycle is more of like a 28-day cycle. And 10 of those days are usually in like a recovery phase or a phase that is not pleasant to be in. The menstruation period? Menstrual period?
I was going to say pains.
Yeah, bloated, aches, cramps, all that stuff. So if you think about like the female psyche, if it's a third of the time not enjoying itself, and then probably in transition for half the time, and then probably in peak attraction period for like...
Yeah, you're saying only date women for like a week and a half.
Yeah, and then dump them and come back.
And if you're... Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah. So it makes more sense now that I think about it, now that I've done a little research on it, that women are not as sexual as men because they're not always on. They're only on some of the time. So there's periods where you need to understand as a man.
They did studies. We got into this earlier when I was talking about like men versus women. Women, that's why they're more often bisexual is the wrong word. It doesn't matter as much the stimulus. Their arousal isn't based on the other person's gender as much. Like in studies, they are equally
based on their own
men and women.
Yeah, it's on their own
physical feeling. Right. So if they're stimulated in the same ways, and they're, let's say they're
more of an emitter. I would say.
Let's say their vulva is like sensitive. Whether it's a girl or a man, they're still sensitive to it. That's all they can really. That's their thing. With a man, men are often attracted to, whether it's men or women, they're attracted to a physical stimulant. They see something and that turns them on and drives them crazy. Women aren't as visual as men. That's the way they put it. But it might be touching into what you're saying.
Yeah, that women are only really sexually active in like a very small time frame, and that kind of leads into a different type of, I guess, approach to sexual relations. Because most of the time, women are more mental and more emotional about it, and less about the sex drive that is associated with maybe the man side of it.
I mean, some would say they're more apt to sexual encounters with another friend of yours who's a girl. Do you know what I'm saying? I would say that.
So I'm trying to figure out the percentage, and it's pretty close to versus gays versus lesbians. I don't like this poll, though. I don't want to bring up the numbers.
Is it super big sample size, super small sample size?
It's I would say it's skewed. Okay. It has a certain political play to it, which I don't like and enjoy.
Oof,
keep going. Keep talking.
I hate to get us off track a little bit, but I have 10 weird general things that make you horny. We never got into. I'd like to bring them up.
Yeah.
They're just human things that make, I think it's mostly men. I think this is like a men's website in Australia or a men's magazine, like one of those Maxim type magazines. So it's probably mostly extended facts and part BS, but we can give it a shot.
Okay.
And this is only weird things, like obviously a nice fresh pair of breasts with the vulva right there. It's just gets every man excited.
Okay.
Oh, boobs. Right. Yeah, right. But
well,
these are weird
thing,
things.
Yeah.
Right. That's natural. These are weird things, but are
feet
over the general populace.
Weird fetish.
Feet didn't make it, and you seem to be hating, man. If anyone wants to buy my feet,
website. Yeah, I don't know.
There's several websites. Long arms in women tends to make men more attracted to them. 10. Again, this isn't
small sample size. Yeah.
No.
Arms.
I mean,
this is what?
Long arms.
Okay. All right.
The smell of cinnamon buns actually is an arousal factor.
I read this with cologne, is that they include like the smell of cinnamon buns or like some other things that gets people aroused personally, and then their arousal triggers other people to feel like they're aroused to them because they're
makes sense.
Focused. They're on point.
Eating watermelon, actually.
Huh.
I'm not sure why. Maybe it's a hydration thing.
Watermelon tastes pretty good.
It is. Bad economy. They say when the economy's at its worst, people tend to have more sex. Is that weird?
Wow. They tend to drink more, too. I guess that's hand in hand.
Oh, maybe hand in hand. Okay, that makes sense.
Or hand in something else.
Your own friends. Because apparently hanging out with your own friends increases your sex drive because it's like a competition thing. Produces more testosterone when you're hanging out with a bunch of the dudes. You're Mr. Dude and you're hanging out with your dude friends. They specify like
dude friends? Because the female friends that I make, I'm attracted to. It just happens naturally that
maybe
mentally attracted to them as well.
Specify, but the picture that they used, a picture for each was dudes, all laughing with a dude. So I was like, oh, yeah. Your female doppelganger. I know we got into this a little bit, but like someone who looks exactly like you, but the female version. Obviously not related to you, but like someone you've never met who looks like has your features. You're like
brown hair, brown eyes.
That's attractive. Yeah, that is an attractive person right there.
Stature. Wow. Yeah, wow. I can't believe you are that attractive.
Anxiety, apparently.
Anxiety makes you more attracted to other people, or
makes you more aroused.
Huh. I don't know. I can't speak to that because
I think
I'm not
a
anxious.
Fear situation. They showed a fear situation. Like someone's afraid and they're hiding out together in like, I don't know, Anne Frank's closet or whatever, or roof or ceiling. Like, you know what I mean? Did they bang more up there? I don't know. Clean sheets, apparently, is a big turn on for people. And again, these are weird things that have general horniness increase. And I was like, that makes sense, I guess. I mean, it's clean sheets. You release all these dead skin cells every day. I mean, your whole life, a nice pair of clean sheets. Hell yeah. Make them dirty.
Maybe.
Infidelity. So do you know broken dick is a thing? You can actually have a broken dick.
It can break in half?
Yeah. No. What it is, it's considered a broken dick. When you're at your full rigidity, folks, and you're plowing away and something slips, you can, with the force, you can actually snap something in it. It has a technical medical name. This is a bad thing. It's not supposed to happen. It's very rare.
Look up the medical term.
Broken dick. Anyway, it can take months to heal. You put an ice bag over your bag, I guess.
Penile fracture.
Ooh, I don't like that word.
What to do? Keep going.
Anyway, do you know, I want to say 75 to 90% of the cases occur in cases of infidelity, folks. That's right. Infidelity is hot.
That he's getting a little more than he expected and he can't handle it?
I don't know. No. The breakage occurs because he's doing it so forcefully and so hard, and he misses one time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's the idea. But the idea is it happens because you're going at it so hard. Infidelity, folks, it's hot, I guess. And lastly, the color red. Did you know it's slightly more arousing than any other color?
That makes sense. Probably. It most makes people hungry.
How about the Matrix? Girl in red?
Oh, the girl in red, yes.
Remember her? Yeah, interesting, right?
I do have stats on same-sex experiences by men and women.
Okay, let's go.
Man is 11.4%, and men is 11.4%, and women is 14.5% for face-to-face interactions. So if you have a face-to-face interaction with somebody, you're more likely as a woman to have a same-sex experience with them.
I guess so.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Weird.
Mm-hmm. What about the last thing I think we're going to cover? Well, I guess there's like 3 things I want to cover. I apologize. There's chronophilia, which is the attraction to certain age ranges.
Oh, that's weird. I think that's weird.
Well, people always reference pedophilia. There's also one before that, which is infantophilia, which don't agree with.
Didn't the guy from Lost Prophets try and arrange for a meeting where he's going to have sex with a baby?
I don't know what you're talking about. About. There's hemophilia.
Anyway, I heard that story and I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. I was like, no one does that, but you just mentioned infantophilia or whatever, so that could have been.
Yeah, well, there's also hemophilia, which is attraction to adolescents, and then adults, which is teleophilia, which is
I got that.
Adults.
I think I got that.
Mesophilia, which is middle-aged adults, and then
I got that too.
gerontophilia, which is the elderly.
Yeah, I can do that too.
You could. And then there's the sexy sun. What do they call it? The sexy sun. Shit, I can't say it. I left my notes are broken. The sexy sun theorem is that you are trying to have sex with somebody in order to produce a son that is super sexy so that everyone else has sex with them. So it's not like...
That's deep. That's like, I want to have sex so other people have sex?
I want to have sex so that sex happens more often. And then we can get down to like turn-offs, I guess. Like, for me, turn-offs are like smoking, sometimes tattoos, anybody who's like ignorant or insulting or anything.
So they're personality traits or a turn-off? I
guess so.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because didn't you say...
Or status symbols, sizzle symbols. I can't, man.
So here's a question. I'll put you on the spot. You're saying like I don't like smokers. I don't like someone with tattoo. I don't like someone who's mean to people. I don't like someone who tips nice. Ultimately, when you're having sex with someone,
does that matter?
Right.
Probably not. It's probably super hot. Like I wish I could have done that when I was younger, when I didn't care. When relationships are more fluid.
Well, hold on. Now you're saying relationships. I guess in a relationship, those things all matter.
Yeah.
With arousal, do they matter? So wait, here, I'll ask you. Between a relationship and sex, there is arousal? Is that kind of in between? Because arousal is not just sex, but it's not as big as a relationship. It's something in between, I guess.
True. I'll give it to you.
All right, cool. You attracted to anyone you do a podcast with?
No. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm going to have to cut this short here.
Why, you got to pay?
Yeah, I do.
I knew it.
I'm going to actually take a break. Want to take a break? Come back?
You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's do a break.
All right.
Because there's more. There's more we need to cover.
Okay. Folks, let me tell you, that was a wild one. If he doesn't cut this out, whatever. It's not a big deal. I'm going to look at my phone. You guys want to watch me look at my phone? Hey, check it out. I'm doing whatever the hell I want. I'm looking at my phone, doing whatever. What's up? He's back.
A topic so juicy, we had to relieve our own juices in the middle.
Oh, yeah. How many shakes does it take you, huh?
Do you call it a shake if it's all lower body motion? Or just do a...
I
dance like Britney Spears and I say... So that's one of the other things is that like singers today, they moan and kind of make... I want to say guttural noises.
You're actually talking about tennis players, I think.
Tennis players? Tennis?
Yeah. Tennis. You never... There's been female tennis players who were told to stop because they're distracting.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta check this out, dude. I think it's actually kind of hot that they do that.
So
I mean, I don't have an example.
Like a Serena Williams or a what's the other one?
No, like probably like a lesser known tennis star who's like coming up and just like needs to make a name for herself, or I don't know. Just tennis star ass stop sexual noise. I don't know.
Anna Kournikova. She's tennis. Right?
I don't think. How old do you think she is by now?
What, Sharapova? Right, Sharapova?
No, Kornikova, dude.
Kornikova's got to be at least 37.
She could be like 45, dude. Wasn't she dating Steve Yzerman in like 91?
I picked images here. She's 37 years old. How much did I say?
35. But hold on. How long ago was Steve Yzerman in the NHL? I thought
that's been like 90, 95-ish.
No, I was thinking 91, and I did my math wrong, I guess.
So it's
either way.
I don't know.
Fair enough. I'll give it to you.
She is attractive, and she has a very minimal fluctuating asymmetry. Straight on, she's very attractive. I am distracted by her attractiveness, but her eye does droop a little bit. Sorry, Anna.
If she's watching, I will totally talk to her about the podcast for her. You know?
Yeah, we will respond to her text messages.
Do you know anything about secondary sex characteristics?
No, actually. I probably
do. So your sex organs are your primary sex characteristics.
Okay, like your man or woman? Is that what you're leaning towards?
My penis, your vagina, sure.
Okay.
Secondary sex characteristics are like, I don't know, boobs are considered a secondary sex characteristic. No, because they're used for whatever else. Like hips, maybe, in a female. It's more common in animals.
My hips don't lie.
Where you can see, right.
You're talking about like the ornamental part of it. Hold on a second.
Yeah, which I thought you were going to touch on earlier.
Yeah, sexual.
It's called dimorphism. They become solely mated on, the ducks with the green bill and the whatever have you, because they're the more desirable mate, and that becomes the predominant thing in the females. You
mean like bulky antlers, like a stag with really big antlers? It's like, oh, look at those damn antlers! I want to,
exactly,
ride those things until something happens, because I can't really ride them. I don't know.
What's weird is because they don't ride them. Yeah. So what is the deer thinking when they see that? They're like, oh my god, did you see his antlers, Diane? Oh my goodness.
So this happens with like say like Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you watch any of his like documentaries, he has these women that are always around him because he has such big muscles. Do you think that's partly because he has muscles, or because he's probably on steroids with extra testosterone that they can sense? I think it's a secondary characteristic.
I don't think they can sense that stuff. I
don't know. I read a story that women can sense testosterone. That if they like smell a man that has extra testosterone, they can smell his shirt and determine whether he's
before they smell him.
No, like this is a closed
in that instance
closed environment, so they only get the shirt. So they smell the shirt, they say, "Okay, I'm attracted to that guy," and then they smell another shirt that has less testosterone in it, and they go, I'm okay with that. You know, it's nothing special, but I want to bone this guy. So it's the same thing with a stag? Like the female.
Well, they talk about how any of these tests done. There's two things about all the tests we talk about, sexual tests especially, is that any slice of the population is almost never prudish people who wouldn't do a sex test. How many times do you think they get tested?
Masters and Johnson was all pretty much prostitutes. So it's not like those people are normal people that are like awkward when they approach it and they don't.
They're going to skew the results. I mean, they want to have sex. They want to be vocal about their sex. Like you imagine a Puritan woman who's had sex 18 times in her life total, 3 of which were to have a child. Like, do you know what I mean? Like all with one person is going to be a little different experience sexually than someone else.
Yeah, they're going to be prude. The Masters and Johnson test was also people would orient themselves before they actually were recorded. So they'd get to pretty much have sex before they had sex to record them properly, which may be reasonable from a scientific experiment aspect, but unreasonable in a realistic, like real world example.
Okay, that makes sense. And by the way, now that we're back from break, aphrodisiacs, do they work? You all waited for the answer?
How's the musk doing?
No,
it didn't. I'm allergic to shellfish, so I can't have oysters.
Apparently, there's no scientific discernible evidence that proves that aphrodisiacs, whether it be something you eat, drink, spray on yourself, or whatever, work in the long term. What you mentioned is interesting, because it's mostly BS because it affects the quality of your own mental state, which will change your attracted to someone and the way someone's attracted to you. So if you feel more confident, you're giving off different pheromones, you're giving off different feelings. It's placebo effect a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Is that if your mate is willing to do these things for you to show that he's attracted to you, are you not more attracted to him? Like if you're already in the scenario that this happens, you probably are more attracted to him.
And if he thinks it's working on him, is he not more attracted to you? Feel more sexually vigorous, et cetera, et cetera. So I think they're kind of BS. And as a side note, one of our friends, Ryan, his younger brother, we'll call him Messi or Jesse. We'll call him whatever. One night we were drunk and we bought those boner pills from 7-Eleven, like the ones that are like stay up all night, rock hard, rhino, her hard or whatever. And it's like they have all these names or whatever. We snorted them.
Oh, that can't be good.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened?
No, nothing. No,
that'd be funny if it was just a different pathway and you needed to eat them.
No, it would be funny if it was just like we had erections for like 9 hours. No,
but nothing to do with them. Yeah.
Mental state.
He was like, yeah, they do work, but okay.
Right? Crazy.
Yeah. The other, let me see. We said like Martin Van Melee or Malay. I don't know how to say his name.
Excuse me.
It has those two little dots. What does it? Two little dots mean? English major?
I don't know. Colon?
No, they're above the E.
Oh, it's like a German or that's not a language.
Martin Van Malay. It doesn't count.
Sure.
He did a whole bunch of illustrations that everyone should check out about sexual interactions.
That's the guy you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. So he has a bunch of weird ones that have like a bunch of penises or like some like missized, or I can't even bring them up because it would be too much for me, but it always kind of has like a haziness around the sexual interaction, which kind of makes you like lean in a little bit and try to like figure out what's going on.
Japanese pornography?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They blur things out? Don't they?
I think they do. I guess it's what would you call it? Uncouth. It's more proper to blur it out.
It's more proper to have naked people doing it. Blur those bad boys out.
Yeah,
makes sense.
But this Martin guy, he captures like really weird scenes that, to me, they're hot. I'm not gonna say. I mean, there's some strange stuff, but it's kinky. There's kinkiness that he captures very simply.
That's the craziest thing I read. The score of that game. I'm not even gonna get into it because it's been months removed. Well, here's an interesting thing. In researching arousal, I almost became aroused several times.
Oh, I agree.
Right? Because just researching it is
reading
like...
Reading it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Because I guess you're imagining the perfect woman who's going to be interacting with you, right?
I'm imagining anyone. You're getting all zen on me here. Like, whatever. Like, you just... Anyway, it's just... This is all natural. It's all...
I get you
so
moving.
I came across the psychological experimental theoretical reasons for horniness, essentially, because we talked a little bit about how physically you're defined and how you're attracted to her eyes or her buttocks or whatever, and maybe you smell her, and there's all these things going on physically. So what's going on mentally or societally? And someone said, no, it's very physical. We'll go with Tarkanov. He's a Russian scientist. He said, I found in frogs that the amount of content in the seminal vesicles is exactly how horny a frog is. Like if it's draining, it wants to be, it's not that horny. If it's all the way full, it's got to get rid of this juice. It's got to be humping.
I read a human analog that said that as you age, you lose percentage of seminal vesicles that are actually full.
So that may have been part of it, but guess what? Anyway, it turned out it was false. This is only apparent in frogs. But I mean, for a while they thought people too, because of what you just said. So then I came across this one. They think, I forget whose theory this was. It's your experience in the past, your affective state at the moment, and your current social context. I didn't get the name because I didn't write it down. I'm a jack off. I thought that was pretty good. And then I came across my favorite one. It's Kazimierz Emelianski.
Emelianski.
Yeah, thank you. Emelianski. You came across this?
No.
Oh, thank you. The psychodraulic model is all about tension. So apparently,
Sexual
the hornier
tension.
you get, no, well, a little bit. The hornier you get, the more tension is across your body. Most subjects, when they discuss horniness, actually don't say it's strictly pleasure. It's a little bit of pleasure and pain, right? Would you say it's just pleasure? Because it's not like eating a bonbon. Being horny is not like eating a bonbon. I will say.
I guess you are stressed. You're trying to release the stress.
You're literally, you can't concentrate on things. You feel more, everyone says being horny is awesome and it's good, but I mean, maybe it's bad. Maybe it's in between. Maybe it's hard to describe because it's a whole different state of mind. And you almost, like if someone was like, all right, we got you to horny level 3, and you were like, Jesus, you just want to get rid of it. And apparently that theory says that it's just more and more pressure. It's like a pressure cooker. And then eventually it's not actually a good feeling at all. You just, by the time you release, it feels so good to release and be out of all of that you think the whole experience was good. You actually just like the release.
So there's the, I guess the post-release retrospective, right? Is when you're super attracted to somebody and then you actually get down to it and you have the release, you have this moment of clarity. The moment of clarity makes you think, did I do this with the right person? And it's purely mental at that point. Yeah. I don't know if this is called something, but there's a moment where you think,
moment of clarity.
You realize
the beer got been removed.
Exactly. You decide that maybe it wasn't the best choice. You were attracted to them in the moment because you were so horny that you wanted to get to release yourself, but afterwards.
So horny's crazy because I don't even know if it's an emotion or a physical state or something in between. I mean, I know we touched on arousal. I guess is it all horned up, randy, turned on, steamy, lustful? Some good words. I like them all.
Yeah,
randy. It's just you still get horned up with your girl.
I don't know what that really means. I will say that like the pictures I see, even of like people who are engaged in like a almost like sexual experience and people kissing, like it makes me feel like I should have that and like I should have whatever emotion they're trying to portray. So a picture of people kissing, regardless of whether they're models and have no emotional connection, whatever, it makes me want to have that. Like you want to have the touch, the feel, the sensation. You want to dive right in and just experience it and let yourself go. And
it's crazy.
I think you miss that because when you're with somebody for so long, you know them so well that you don't get to the level that is a release of everything you know about them. The pure enjoyment.
You can also get into you don't know how they go through their stages. If you know how someone goes through, it's almost like boring, I guess.
Yeah, you know that at this moment you're supposed to do this because they're going to complain if they don't get to that point.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, for the record, I will say I've been getting pretty good. I've been getting back pretty good. I'm back in the saddle, folks.
All right.
That's all I'm going to say. This hair, it might be legit. You know what I'm saying? It might be real.
You lose a little tuft up here.
Anything? I'm just saying.
Give it 10 days.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But I like where I'm at. I'm in good shape now. I'm back. I'm good. I'm back. I'm back in the saddle. You're at the other end. I'm stressing
out. I
know.
Every woman
it goes in cycles and waves. It doesn't.
It does.
It always goes in cycles and waves.
For men, it's up and down, and they're always like on the edge, the precipice. And they don't know what to do, and they're tense, and until the release, and then you realize what you should and shouldn't have done. Then maybe.
I mean, I feel like I should keep it to myself, but maybe I shouldn't. There's a new sex move I have.
Is this the knuckle?
No. Oh my God, what is a knuckle? No, this is legit. All right. Well, I feel like I can't do it on a podcast. It's like live. I'm like, I could be talking to like 14-year-olds, 18 and older.
Yeah. Tune out.
If you're not a relative of mine? No, I don't want to. Anyway.
They'll be using your knuckle move.
if you're going down on a girl, let's say, right? Want to surprise her? Put a little pressure on her?
Yeah, double arms lock in front
right
of you.
here. Yeah, no, in front of you. And you get a little pressure on the belly area, and you really... I'm not going to get too detailed. You can create some pressures all over the body. That's... Here, I won't say this. I'll say this. I love exploring another person's body. And that's part of being horny. It's part of being all about it. It's, oh man, I want to go so many different directions, but I'm like, stop it. You've been drinking. Someone's going to see this one day, but
your son.
I'm a generous lover. I'm good at what I do. I don't need gimmicks. I don't need games. And I don't need pheromones.
All comes
Good at
naturally.
what I do, folks. All comes naturally, and so do they. Well, folks, we talked enough about horniness. Let's wrap it up here.
Yeah, let's do a little recap here.
Wrap up.
Yeah.
We talked about
the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
You just spread it out. Physique, athleticness, genes, a little
looks,
fluctuating asymmetry. It's got the see, the visual, the hear, the pitch, the language, the smell, the pheromones, the colognes, erogenous zones, the mucocutaneous zones.
Not to be confused with
nerves, thick nerves.
Yeah, nerve clusters.
Taste, the first kiss, sixpence, none the richer. The mental game, the hormonal, the mood, all those androgens flowing through your body, getting you pumping, getting you filled with blood, pulsating. Erogenous zones. I'll say it again. All that money that we didn't talk about, the status, the wealth of people. Who does what to find that wealth? The libido. Hypo and hypersexual people. The drugs that cause you to be hypersexual. We didn't talk about those, but it's okay. That's all right. The sexual response cycle for men and women. All over the place for women. Men, we're pretty straightforward. You know exactly what we're thinking.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. But we're going to be the aggressors here. We're not going to be, we're not going to be passive. You can be passive because that's the way you're built. Women. Some of them. So it depends.
To wrap it up, we like you. We like you a lot, folks. I'm going to try and go get laid. I will talk to everyone later. That's great. Check our socials. Check our everything. Think now with this shave, I've got a pretty good shot.
I'll shout out to Missy K, who's commented while we were talking. It was a little distracting. She seemed to enjoy the talk right in the middle. She was thoroughly engaged, possibly engorged. And I don't know how old you are, so I'm allowed to not... I will not confirm nor deny what I'm saying right now. But...
all this talk has got me ready to run upstairs and see what's up.
Yeah, she'll be sleeping. He'll be disappointed.
I don't know. I heard someone moving. I got to go. All right. We like you. We like you a lot. We love other people just as much.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.